And then on key terms, coming to you, Madhu, what are some of the key terms usually in these kind of M&A situations that founders should be aware of? And specifically, I want you to kind of underline the terms that they might not have encountered during, let's say, VC term sheets or VC fundraisings, right? Um,
Mhm.
what would be some of those things?
I'll list a few that are top of mind. One, oftentimes, that gets not looked at is non-compete, right? And the level of non-compete surprises people. They would, for example, I've seen examples where you cannot pursue anything on this topic as a new builder for the next like 3 years, which is infinity time. Empires are built and lost in 3 years these days, unfortunately, depending on the size of the empire. But non-compete can be pretty expansive. You can say you cannot build anything in e-commerce for the next 3 years, which is like, that's a huge definition, right? So that's something to think about. Specific um, payouts are also pretty severe. That if the level of interest, sorry, the interest in the company, the acquiring company is, I'm going to keep you as long as possible, even if I'm not putting you to work. I just don't want you to go work at another company. The FANG companies did this quite a bit in the last 5 years, where they hired people and kept them just so that the other company can't hire them, right? Like in AI, for example, and many engineers in many departments, not just in AI, over the last 5, 6 years, I've heard stories where they were hired to just kind of park themselves there. And I'm keeping you here so that I don't have to get you to go to another company. So be aware of what you're signing up for from a non-compete standpoint, and also from a, if I stayed here only 6 months, you're welcome to leave, but so, to make up a number, like a 70% of your payout is not going to be with you if you leave. And then you'll get 50% if you stay for a year and a half. So it's really valuable to recognize this. And this is also why a good lawyer will help quite a bit with this sort of thing, right? So the two things that jump out at me are performance payouts based on performance, or payouts based on length of period you're staying at the company, and then non-competes. There's other lesser known examples where they will say, this is an actual example: company was acquired, was promised unlimited access to GPUs. This happened like less than a year ago. You are building amazing tech. I want your tech. You should build it within the parent company, all the GPUs you want. We are a big, I won't name the name, but like, we're a company that can get as many GPUs as you want, one of the very few, and we'll definitely give it to you for this exercise because that's where we're buying you, right? 10 engineers that were part of the company joined for that reason. And the company paid maybe $2 to $3 million per engineer to come and join. And many of them immediately left completely disillusioned because they were no longer a priority. They're not getting the GPUs. They're not getting the interest within the bigger R&D. And they're like, what am I doing? So this big acquirer paid them, nobody won. Big acquired lost all the talent they paid like tens of millions for. And the engineers disillusioned because they thought they were going to work on cool stuff on the world's best supply of GPUs, but they didn't get it. So nobody won. And these guys all went off to, other, some of them went to Big Fang, and some of them went to other, starting their own company. And uh, one of them ended up being a senior exec at one of the large LLM players, and the acquiring company completely lost out, and they totally screwed it up. If they were actually an independent research lab slash startup, they would have been making waves right now. So that's another thing: is, do you know what you're signing up for, and do you know you're going to get the money you want? Do you know you're going to get the outcome you want, even though that's what was promised at the time of signing?